So if you happen to stumble across this video, it could be in search of the Apple AirPods or probably just looking for some random Bluetooth earphones. So first of all, let's just get this out of the way. The Apple AirPod is among one of the best, if not the best, when it comes to wireless earphones. It's one of the most sold wireless earphones in the world. Full stop. The latest gen is the Apple AirPods Pro 2 and the Apple AirPod Gen 3. So if you've never had an Apple AirPods before, you might not be able to tell the difference if someone is wearing the first gen, second gen, or the latest gen. So the latest gen is the Apple AirPods Pro 2, which if I'm wearing, or the next person sitting next to me is wearing the AirPods Pro 1, I can't really tell the difference. Like, there is basically no difference just looking at the person, unless someone who is techie or someone who knows the difference. So that being said, it goes into your ear and also gives you the ability for noise cancellation. That simply means you can cancel out your environment if people are, talking or making some kind of random noise and you just feel like you don't want to be part of the noise. You can isolate yourself and be in your own world. So which is pretty good, especially if you're traveling. You don't need to be hearing the airplane engine making lots of noise compared to other brands, which we will talk on later. So it gives you this feature of the noise cancellation, which basically every other brand out there in the market are also doing, but it's actually one of the best when it comes to noise cancellation, especially for how tiny the AirPods Pro is. So that being said, now let's go to the AirPods 3 or the AirPods third generation. So the AirPods 3 actually has similar design to that of the Pro, but the difference between the AirPods 3 and the Pro is that it does not have the rubber tips which goes into your ear, and it also prevents the earphone from falling off your ears in some cases. So what are the things that YouTubers are not telling you? So most of the time you see a new tech drops in the market, the new iPhone or the latest whatever that is released, and you see YouTubers get their hands on it, make the perfect review, and they talk about this product like if it's a must do, like if you don't buy this product, you're gonna die. Or if you don't buy this product, you should not sleep at night. And then you lay your hands on the product, you actually realize like, nah, it's not too different from what you had before. Or sometimes there are some things that you might even prefer from your previous generation of whatever gadget it is that you're upgrading. So that being said, I would like to take this back to the original AirPods. The design is not the best aesthetically, but I would say I feel more comfortable when I have the original AirPods. So that also valids for AirPods too, because they maintain the same design. In terms of comfort, I prefer the original AirPods because it feels like the original earphones that we are used to back in the days before wireless buds or before Apple AirPods became a thing. If you're buying this device, things you need to know is if you are someone with tiny ears, you might want to have a go, or you need to try someone or a friend or a family member who has these AirPods before you throw your money away, because people buy it and then realize that it falls off their ear. So I, for example, I'm just going to talk about my experience. I loved everything about the AirPods 2. The design was not the best, like I said, but it was very comfortable in my ears. I could climb on the bed, I could sleep on the bed with the AirPods in my ear, no problem at all. I could run, go to the gym with that, and I had no problem. So before the AirPods 3, there was the AirPods Pro. Obviously, we have the AirPods Pro 2 now, which has similar design again, like I said. And the thing about the AirPods Pro is that it's got the gum which sticks in your ear, which can go in your ear, and that also kind of prevents the AirPods from falling off. So using this in the gym, I could go sometimes running and it doesn't fall off, and sometimes it falls off, because of the design that Apple does. Like if you notice, if you grab any Apple devices, they're all slicky, which is actually pleasing to the eye and pleasing to the touch. But when it comes to the device that you have to put on yourself, like earphone, that no matter how clean you are, even if you just had a shower, we kind of have greasy skin, and this is a problem if you have the Apple AirPods because of the design. So a slicky design like this is definitely going to like slip off when it's in your ear. The only time you know your skin does not emit oil is when you're fresh out of the shower. I think Apple released the AirPods 3 because people were complaining about how uncomfortable the AirPods Pro is, which is when it goes in your ear. Some people do not like how it fits. I personally, the first time I had the AirPods in my ear, especially the AirPods Pro, I was not a huge fan of the noise cancellation at some point, one, and I'm not also a fan of, the rubber tips going into my ear. It makes me feel uncomfortable too. And Number three was, even if that goes in your ear and for some reason it stays, some people till today do not know how to wear AirPods. And unfortunately, I need to say that, because if you have it on your ears like that, if it's not twisted this way, it's very easy for it to fall off. So I see some people, if you wear AirPods like this, which is how earphones should be worn, it is very easy to fall off until you click, do all the way like to the side and you lock it. But again, every human is different, our ears are different. So the way I feel comfortable wearing the AirPods Pro or the AirPods 2 might be different from the way the other person feel comfortable wearing the AirPods 2. But again, the reason why I would do that is just a way to, secure the AirPods from falling off. So that being said, how bad is the AirPods 2, which is the latest when it comes to the design language, compared to the AirPods Pro and compared to the original AirPods? So like I said, what they've done is they've taken away the tips, so it doesn't really go into your ears. But if you're the kind of person who works out, like someone who goes to the gym or someone who likes to run, unfortunately I'm going to tell you that the AirPods 3, it might not really be the one for you, because this device is so sleeky and shiny, and it's very easy to fall off your ears, because once you start emitting oil from your skin, it's very, very easy for this to lose contact with your skin. So in terms of price, the AirPods 3 is worth 180 to 200 euros, or if you're in place like in the UK, you can find it for like 170 to 190 pounds, and if you're in the US, you can find it for less than 200, obviously, compared to the AirPods Pro 2, which is 250 bucks. So don't get me wrong, the AirPods Pro 2, which is the latest gen, has the same design as the original AirPods Pro, but the sound quality is way better. Everything sounds better. Like when you speak, the microphones are clearer and the noise cancellation is just better. Everything good is good around. And another feature I need to talk about before I stop talking about the features of the AirPods is that this has the ability to give you what they call 360 sound or surround sound, which is equivalent to Dolby Atmos. So if you're someone who goes to the theater and you watch movies that is registered in Dolby Atmos, you would understand what that means. So for anyone who doesn't know what Dolby Atmos means, this simply means like when you're watching the movie, if you see a scene or hear a sound from the movie, the sound will actually come from exactly the same direction. So what that means is, for example, if I'm wearing this and I'm watching the movie, if there is, say, an airplane flying towards my back, I would hear the sound from my back. And if there's a gunshot from that angle, I would hear the gunshot from that angle, and which is really nice, which is something, I don't know how Apple did it, but it's just really, really nice compared to all the cheap brands out there who try to mimic the same feature. But you can tell that it's not on the same level, or it's not on par compared to what Apple would give to you. So for the price, as mentioned earlier on, so would you pay $170 to 100 to 200 for the AirPods 3, or pay 250 bucks for the latest AirPods Pro 2, or you rather get something cheaper from Amazon, which would cost you around, let's say, 30 to less than 50 bucks, and you still get the sound of the music, but the difference is the sound quality is not going to be the same. If you do not care about sound quality and you do not care about anything, get the cheap brand. But that being said, there is a positive side on the AirPods. You don't need to do too much. Once you connect this to your device, you are sure anytime you want to use your AirPods, all you need to do is pop it out of the case, put it in your ear, and you're fine, you're good to go. But the problem with all these cheap brands is, even when you set them with or pair them with your phone, after a while, sometimes you realize you try to listen to music, it's not really connecting, and you have to go through the whole setup again, which could be really, really annoying. The thing about Apple device is consistency and reliability is, for me, it's a priority when it comes to my tech, when it comes to, for example, like the phones I use. People keep saying, oh, Apple is too expensive, or iPhones are too expensive. Androids are better than, look, I don't care what phone is better, what camera is better, or what does what. For me, I find iOS to be very consistent. If you are interested, again, on getting the AirPods, go for it. But if you don't care about sound quality and you don't care about anything, you just want to listen to music and that's it, then get a cheaper brand. I want to say something. I think most of the users of the Apple AirPods are suffering and smiling because of those things that I mentioned earlier, which are like the AirPods does not stay in your ears, or sometimes when you try to run it falls off, or when you're in the gym. I see people many times trying to pick their AirPods, put it in, and it drops again, and you know what, they just give up. In fact, that is the reason why you see so many people prefer to use the Beats in-ear Beats, or they prefer to just have the big headphones when they're in the gym. This is simply because these AirPods, they still fall off your ears. If you did enjoy this video, do make sure you leave a like. So if you're interested in the new kid in the block, which is the JBL Pro 2, which is a mouthful of a name, JBL Pro 2 wireless earbuds or wireless earphone, do make sure you click to this video, click a like, and I'll leave a link below for a review or to talk about it, if it's worth the price when you compare it to an Apple device. So that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next one.